So, Infection dropped with Season 4 of Halo Infinite, finally, and it took me a few games, but I got my first Killionaire.
Purification. Zombies. Divine intervention.
I wanted to give my first impressions on the Infection mode so far, so if you only wanted to see the Killionaire, I totally understand, by all means leave. But I'd love it if you stuck around anyway. There'll be some decent enough gameplay that I've captured so far in the background. I'd also love to hear what people think of Infection so far. I don't know whether my takes are hot takes or if they're pretty common, so I'm kind of curious what other people think. The first thing I want to talk about was the balance in the game mode, especially when it comes to things like speed and effectiveness of the zombies. It has its ups and downs, but I think 343 have done a pretty good job of making the zombies fun to play, which isn't always the case in past Halos. Like, there are certainly some where you would see someone get infected and turn into a zombie and they would quit en masse instantly because no one wants to do it. Or they would just stop moving and hide and wait for the timer to run out, which kind of sucks. From the human's perspective, it can actually be kind of frightening. Like, if you get caught out, they're so quick. And, like, the alpha zombie obviously coming out of visibility can catch you out. It's genuinely quite scary. Oh, whoa! God, that bot knew exactly where I was. Sometimes I've experienced situations as a zombie where it's too quick. Like, I'm a bit of a sweaty boy, so I slide around the place like crazy in Halo Infinite. And there's been some times where the speed boost and the slide combined have kind of caught me out, like this clip here. Oh shit! No, no, no! No! Another thing I wanted to talk about was the environment. I think the environments are excellent. I was watching Hidden Xperia playing it on a live stream when it first released, and he pointed out that the maps are really reminiscent of Halo Reach's Infection with the way they've kind of staged it up. I kind of agree. The bodies kind of like strewn around the map kind of gives the same vibes like the Lone Wolf mission, the final mission on Halo Reach. I think the cool map effects with like all the red all over the place and the glitching out kind of fits the whole rogue AI vibe that they started with that Escalation Slayer game mode last season, which, by the way, 343 bring that back. That was amazing. Please. On top of that, I really enjoy the random weapon spawns on the ground in Infection. I think it really elevates the gameplay in a way that random weapon spawns do not elevate the gameplay in normal multiplayer at all. I like that no 2 rounds of Infection are the same. Sometimes you're just running with the Commando and the Bulldog. Sometimes you come across something like a Skewer when you're low on ammo and it's just like, you do the best you can with a weapon that's essentially one shot and then you're done. Kind of fun. I will add, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the Commando spawn. It's kind of a difficult one. The Bulldog obviously has to be in because it's the closest thing to the classic shotgun we've had. As for the Commando, I don't really know. The BR would be too powerful. The pistol would be very spammy and potentially too powerful as well. Maybe the Bandit is a better idea? It's kind of difficult to know. I'm not really sure. I'd like to know what people think about that. One thing I do definitely have issues with so far is the scoring system. I haven't worked out exactly what different feats give different scores right now, but I don't think I like how much value is placed on being last man standing. I think it kind of rewards like hiders. And I know that's nothing new in Halo Infection, it's always been that way, that there will be some people who all camp together in a room. But I feel like in past titles there was always a little bit more balance between playing it safe and picking zombies off, and then you'd have those kind of 2 or 3 mad geniuses who just ran around the map slaughtering zombies left, right, and center. There's a little bit more camping in Infinite, I find. And personally, that's just something I don't find enjoyable. I'm not sure how I feel about the idea that both a zombie or just a human can go out and get, 10 kills as a human, or you're alpha zombie and you manage to pick off half of all of the humans. That's really, really difficult to do. And then somebody who just happens to survive for the whole round gets more points. And they did it because they sat in a corner and no one knew where they were until the last few seconds. And then they died. And then it's over. And they somehow win. As for the future of Infection, I definitely think it's promising. I look forward to seeing where they go with it. I do think it's a little bit limited right now. We need more than just the one game mode. I know past Halo titles had, you'd have fully invisible zombies who were weaker, or you'd have stronger zombies who were slower, and it adds a little bit of spice and variety to it. I also really, really want to know what the Forge community can do with Halo Infinite's Forge for making really atmospheric levels. I think those two things coupled together could make some of the best gameplay Halo has ever seen. Right, I guess I'll wrap up the video there. My final takeaways when it comes to Infection are that it's good, it's not perfect. There's definitely room for it to improve, and I definitely think if 343 let the community get their hands on it, it could become a lot better. 343 did announce that Infection is going to be a permanent playlist. That's a promising sign, because it means that at least they want to support it going forward. Thanks for watching. I'll make something else at some point soon, I guess. See ya.